What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. Hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I am here today to do a random music collection update for you. Just going to show you guys some pretty cool CDs and records that I've come across as of lately. And yeah, that's what's this update is going to consist of: CDs and vinyl records. So these first two CDs I got from Hell's Headbangers, and these are two very wildly awesome releases if you have not heard them. The first one I'm going to show you is Semen with their debut album, Ego Sum Satana. If you don't know who Semen are, they are a Peruvian-based black thrash death war metal style sort of band. Very legendary and cult status sort of band. They have put out a lot of demo releases, a lot of split, EP, many assorted releases, but this is their long overdue debut album, and I would say that this album is a very awesome representation of what Semen have been doing over the years. Very primitive sounding, very bestial, very deadly sounding death, black, and thrash metal influences being showcased here. And I think Ego Sum Satana is a really awesome debut. Definitely check it out if you haven't had the chance. And continuing on with Hell's Headbangers, this next release is, in my humble opinion, one of the very best death metal releases to come out this year. It already has a spot in my top 10 for right now. I'm talking about Evil Proclaimed by Abominator. Yeah, take a look at that Chris Moyan artwork. I think it is sensational. These guys are from Australia, and this is their first album in almost 8 or 9 years, I want to say. I definitely think that this is a really incredible piece of black death metal. Great songwriting, awesome speed, really awesome riffs, great vocal work. Definitely a record to play over and over again. There is a lot of replayability going on with this Abominator record. And if you're a fan of Australian death metal, I would definitely say check out Abominator with Evil Proclaimed. Great stuff. This next set of CDs I got from Haunted Hotel Records. If you don't know Haunted Hotel Records, they are a very awesome New York-based label. They definitely specialize in delivering some really awesome releases when it comes to either CD, vinyl, or tape. They specialize in grindcore, death metal, hardcore, many assorted other music styles, any sort of extreme music styles, and I would say that label gets the job done with a lot of great things. So first CD that I got from them was the split from Gadget and Phobia. This is a really awesome grindcore split. Two really awesome bands in their own respective worlds. A lot of great tracks on here, great songs, great pace, very entertaining split. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Next up is a death grind band called Your Kids on Fire, and the album Chainsaw Devil. I believe this came out in 2012. Yeah, really blisteringly entertaining stuff. I love the speed of things. I love the artwork on here. Really awesome artwork on the CD and in the inlay booklet. Definitely a little bit of a perverted horror film sort of mentality when it comes to this band. But yeah, really blistering death grind. Definitely check out Your Kids on Fire. Great stuff. And last is a very influential grindcore outfit. I believe this is based out of Norway. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of the album, but if you've seen this, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about if you're a fan of grindcore. And this is from Parlamentarisk Sodomi. Really, really crazy one-man Norwegian grindcore. I want to say this is a compilation release of some sorts. Pretty hard for me to read the names of the titles. I don't want to butcher anything to maybe mess up how things are said, but I try to say the band name, but not the name of the album or any of the songs. But yeah, very influential grindcore. And I should also mention that there's another band that he's in. I believe it's called Sudoku or something like that. It's pretty much the same guy from Parlamentarisk Sodomi. Really awesome, spacey sort of grindcore. That's what he's up to nowadays if you want to see what's going on with that. And the last bit of stuff I received from Haunted Hotel Records is going to lead right into the vinyl. And this first vinyl is the only 7-inch I have to show you here, and that is the new EP from Malignancy entitled Epilogue. Of course, Malignancy being one of the most important brutal tech death bands to come out of New York recently. A very awesome band. Of course, I had the privilege to see these guys live at Building Temples from Deathfest last year. Very fun and wildly entertaining band. Awesome tech death. Of course, you have this little inlay with the album cover artwork. Very nice artwork. You have the band photo and lyrics. Other additional credits, and it's a 33 RPM 7-inch vinyl. It of course comes with a digital download, and it is on a really nice gray sort of vinyl color. Of course, you have the one logo on one side and the traditional logo on the other side. Really nicely done, 7-inch, and definitely an idea of what is going to be in the future for Malignancy. Very entertaining EP, and I'm looking forward to hearing more great things from them in the future, so definitely support Malignancy. Now we get on to the 12-inch records. This first record I got from Indie Merch. This is Gehenna with Metal Police, Metal Blade Records import. If you don't know Gehenna, they are a Swedish black metal, heavy metal, speed metal sort of band, almost a punkish sort of mentality to their sound. I believe this EP came out last year, but this got re-released with some re-recorded songs from this band's back catalog. Of course, it's on a gatefold. You have the band photo here on one side, and on the other side you have lyrics, and it's on a standard heavyweight black vinyl. Sounds really good too, and if you're into heavy metal or speed metal or black metal, little bit of a punky, thrashy vibe, definitely check out Gehenna. Really awesome stuff. Next up is one of the most intriguing releases to come out this year. This came out on Century Media, and I'm talking about Karen Crisis's Gospel of the Witches with Salem's Wounds. Of course, if you don't know who Karen Crisis is, she is a very influential musician, very important vocalist and songwriter in the early 2000s with her namesake band, and then of course partaking in bands such as Ethel Duath. But this project is somewhat of a continuation of that sort of style. Of course, there's a bit of a star-studded lineup to be heard here. You have of course, you have David from Ethel Duath continuing on with the guitar and bass work, but you also have Charlie Schmid from the band Vora, and of course you have Ross Dolan of Immolation doing some additional vocals, and Mike Hill of Tombs doing some additional vocals. I believe that Ross Dolan and Robert Vigner are part of the live lineup of this band, but anyway, very intriguing stuff. I mean, you get doom elements, death metal elements, you get great singing, great growls. There's a lot of variety to be had on here. Great artwork too. Of course, it's on a gatefold 2LP. Of course, you have Karen Crisis right in the middle, some additional artwork on the back, and you have these really nicely done printed inner sleeves with more photos and additional lyrics and stuff. There you see Karen Crisis again. And they are both on a very nicely heavyweight blue vinyl. Of course, you have the eyes right in the middle of the record stamp. Really nicely done. They sound great too. Definitely, if you're a fan of experimental metal, I definitely would give this new Karen Crisis release a shot. It's different from your usual sort of metal release, and I commend Karen Crisis for wanting to try something different and unique here with Gospel of the Witches. Really awesome stuff. Next up is probably one of the more entertaining releases in metallic hardcore, and I'm talking about Harm's Way with Rust. If you don't know Harm's Way, they are based out of Chicago, Illinois, and they play a very in-your-face, tough guy style of metallic hardcore. A lot of good riffs, a lot of awesome vocals, great mentality, and of course I had the privilege to see these guys live last month. They were fun, they were incredible, and they delivered a great show. This album is a lot different from what you normally would expect. It's the same sort of Harm's Way kind of brand, but there's a little bit of an industrial-esque sort of vibe to it. You almost get a street cleaner element going on here with this record, and I think it really sounds interesting. It's definitely a different sound for Harm's Way, but I still think they get the job done here with Rust. I think it's awesome, and of course this comes on a very nicely done sleeve with the etched album name, Rust, and then you take it out of the sleeve, and you get this really nice, let me take the vinyl out of here real quick. This really nice gatefold with some additional artwork here, nicely done here. Some more skull work going on here, lyrics and credits. Comes with a digital download, and it is on a very nicely done clear vinyl. Sounds great too, typical, up to par with what Death Wish normally knows how to do. But yeah, this is a very awesome piece of metallic hardcore, and if you're a fan of Harm's Way, I definitely think you should give Rust a shot. It's different sounding, but it's still Harm's Way doing what they know how to do best, so definitely check this one out. Slide this back in here. Okay. Next up, I got this from Iron Lung Records, and I have to be perfectly honest with you in saying that this is probably one of the most fucked up albums I've listened to all year. If you're a fan of both black metal and harsh noise, this is a band to be on the lookout for and listen to. This is definitely not going to be for everybody's taste, but for those who do like a little bit of craziness with their sound, I'm talking about TRTRKMMR. Once again, this is another album with an album title that I can't even pronounce. I'm probably going to leave you some links to some songs from some of the bands that I mentioned on here. That way you have an idea of what I'm talking about. But yeah, back to TRTRKMMR. I definitely think this is such a crazy album. One-man project based out of Wisconsin. Very crazy sounding black metal mixed with elements of harsh noise and power electronics. Show you the back of the LP. It's really, really crazy artwork. Great songs. Just relentless from beginning to end. It is mesmerizing to listen to. It's on a standard black vinyl. Comes with a digital download and this really awesome multi-page booklet. Yeah, you get additional artwork, credits, liner notes. Really crazy stuff. And it came with this really cool little stamp card. I believe it is human blood that's been stamped on here, this little wolf thing right here, and it's hand numbered. This is number 9 out of 500. There's only 500 made of these, so it really is awesome to own something like this. Once again, it's not for everybody, but TRTRKMMR is some incredibly fucked up black metal mixed with power electronics. Next up is an order that is a vinyl that I got through Merch Table, I want to say. I'm talking about The Body with All the Waters of the Earth Churned to Blood. If you don't know The Body, they are one of the most devastating bands to come out of sludge metal. I think they're based out of Rhode Island, I think. But yeah, this was one of my favorite releases from the band. I mean, if you own the CD, this is somewhat similar to the CD version. Of course, you have the full artwork with the Zatuichis on there. Very nicely done. Turn it around, you have the 2 band members, and of course you have the weapons layout. You get this little sheet here with credits and lyrics, and this has gotten a lot of pressings over the years, and this one is no different. This came on a really nice clear vinyl. I don't know if you can see it too well, but there's a little bit of a black smear on here. I think that's a pretty cool effect, I should say. But yeah, very good looking vinyl color. This is one of my favorite releases that The Body has put out, and if you're not too aware, they are currently going to be on a upcoming North American tour right now. I believe Full of Hell will be joining them on their next trek real soon, so definitely check out The Body live if you get the chance to. And this last stack of records that I'm about to show you are some records I picked up from a local bookstore around here called Imagine Books and Records. I've been hearing a lot of my local friends tell me about that place. I had been looking in their records, trying to see if they had any vinyl, and then lo and behold, I go there and they had a section of metal vinyl. I don't know who donated these vinyl or who brought them or where they came from, but seeing these, I made 2 stops, two different trips, and I found some really great things. So, first off, these first 2 are of one of my favorite Houston, Texas-based death metal bands, and this one is Blaspherian with Allegiance to the Will of Damnation. Really nice, glossy sort of cover. This was released on Blood Harvest, Swedish metal label. 666 copies. This is number 524 out of 666, and it came on a printed inner sleeve with some additional artwork here. I believe my good friend Daniel, who sings Word Blasphemy, did the artwork, and of course you have the lyrics and credits on the back and all that other stuff. So this is a really awesome EP, and what would later on become the greater legacy of this band. And the legacy of this band continues with their debut full-length Infernal Warriors of Death. I love this album. Really old school to the T sort of death metal, very satanic, very brutal sounding stuff. This is a Death Rune Records release, I believe. Of course, you got the band members on the back, you got the credits, thank yous, lyrics. Comes on a really nice red vinyl color. It sounds good too, still in very good shape over the years, and it came also with a poster of the artwork. Got the red Blaspherian logo and the artwork from the album, and of course Infernal Warriors of Death. But yeah, this album's held up really well over the years, I would say. So definitely support Blaspherian if you haven't heard them. And these next four, this was the last one that I got from the second trip that I made. Yeah. I've never had owned anything from Venom before. And when I saw this record in the bin, and it had a really decent price, I had to pick this one up. I believe this is one of the last decent Venom albums, in my humble opinion. And I'm talking about Possessed. 1985 release. I believe this is a Combat Records pressing. Of course, you have the back with, of course, the flamboyant band photos. Of course, you have the little laughing heads right there. Of course, that's an old school style of Possessed. Yeah, I was shocked that they had this. I'm shocked this was in the bin. And it came with a printed inner sleeve. Of course, this inner sleeve's seen better days. But of course, you have the inner sleeve here. More lyrics and credits. Again, you see the crazy faces. And the vinyl itself is in pretty decent condition. Nicely done here. Of course, once again, you have the infamous laughing faces. Of course, it's on Green Combat Records. This is held up pretty well, I would say. I honestly haven't listened to this yet. I want to give it some time before I do, because I want to, try to keep it preserved, because this is a pretty old style vinyl, and I'm glad that this was kept in pretty good shape over the years. So yeah, this is one of my favorite Venom releases. Definitely listen to this if you haven't had the chance. And these last three were from the first visit that I made, and once I had seen these, I was just blown away. I'm shocked that they had them, and I just had to get them. First off, and I should also mention that these next three are all reissues. The first reissue that I found was Possessed, Seven Churches, influential death metal album, classic death metal masterpiece. This is a 2000 German Century Media import. Really awesome release. Of course, it came on a printed inner sleeve with liner notes, flyer artwork, lyrics, and it came on a really awesome marbled red vinyl. Very nicely done here. It sounds great. Definitely has kept up in shape over the years. But yeah, this is one of my favorite death metal records of all time. Of course, one of the most influential and well-regarded death metal records, I should say. So listen to Seven Churches. It's definitely worth it for some of the greatest songs. The Exorcist, Evil Warriors, Holy Hell, Fallen Angel, and of course that amazing double bass on death metal. It's awesome. So yeah. Next is an influential release in the world of death metal, brutal death metal, gore grind, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Mexican Disgorge, Chronic Corpora Infest. I had been wanting to get a vinyl version of this for quite a long time. I know there was a reissue of this in some instance, but I had never seen a version where the artwork wasn't totally obscured. Of course, very controversial album cover, very gory stuff. Of course, you have the Disgorge logo. And this was released on American Line Productions. I believe this is a Mexican import. And of course, it came in a little bag here. The vinyl's in very good shape, very good to decent shape. Got this little printed piece of paper here with some additional credits and marks here. I believe there were 2 reissues. I don't know which reissue version I have. I don't know if it's the first one or the second one, but it's kind of hard to tell. And of course, this is numbered to only 300 copies. Mine is number 297 out of 300. Yeah. And weirdly enough, it has my good friend Tomas Stench's name on here. Of course, the only Tomas Stench I can think of is of Morbosidad. So I don't know if this is his copy or not, but if it is, I'm grateful to have it handed down to me to have purchased it at a bookstore. And the last vinyl on here is another reissue, and definitely an important piece of US-based death metal. I'm talking about Immolation with Dawn of Possession. Very incredible debut album from Immolation. This artwork is great here. This is the 2003 Metal Mind Records version, I believe. Of course, there's a lot of old school things to be seen on here. Of course, you have the old RC logo here, Road Racer, Road Runner, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, very incredible debut album. Of course, it's on a printed inner sleeve. You got lyrics on this side. Band photo, classic band photo credits. Heavyweight black vinyl, very heavy to hold and lift here. But I think they did a good job with this reissue. Definitely an important piece in the history of Immolation, and definitely an awesome debut record. So, yeah, that's going to conclude this video. I'm going to stop it here. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until the next time, Army Hell out.